All right, so I just kind of want to outline the difference between a student page form and a regular form, okay? So there's only one key difference, and that's actually the student field selector. So let me just go here and check out some forms that we have on our demo site. Let's see. So, right, so even like something like an accident report, whatever it may be, you can see, and they'll all look the same on all your sites. Basically, this is the student field selector here. Okay, and if you click on it, you get a list of all the students in a drop-down. So you don't have to populate all these. This is pulling from your list of students, which, by the way, we'll take care of as part of your setup for any new school. So this is the key difference between student page forms and a regular form. A regular form will not have this field. Okay, so you actually have to add it into the form. Okay, assuming you want this to also be linked to a particular child's page. And generally you would, especially once the parents are already registered. You want to capture any information that they're filling out so that it can be easily seen from the teachers and from the parents alike on their student's page. And so this page is completely private, actually. As an admin, you're going to be able to see all of the students in the list. However, a teacher, unless they're linked with anyone, they won't be able to see anyone. So typically they'll be linked with their own students, right? That's best practice. And so they'll only see a list of their own students for their class. And parents, when they come here, are only going to see their own children. So if I'm a parent, I come here, I'm only going to see my own child. I can click on them. And so here, I'm going to show you what the end result is going to be on your own site. So on top of displaying, the teachers and the parents' names, as well as pictures, which are optional that you can add, here is what we're looking at, right? So this page is basically centralizing all of the data for a particular child into one page, okay? And it automatically adds each form that you fill out for a child, Dora in this example, onto this page per form. So you can see we've got behavior, we've got napping log, snack log, right? Emergency contact information. So this page, so the idea here is that teachers can access all the information in one place, and it's really easily accessible to them. The only thing that you have to do is fill out a form, or a parent can, either way, and that will automatically appear on this page. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to create a form. Okay, we'll create a student page form. We're going to fill it out, and then we're going to go visit that student's page. We'll use Zach just because it's brand new. So first, let's go to Forms, and we're going to hit New Form. Okay, so let's create this form. And there's a really important field called Students, right? This is the student page field, and so we're going to add that in the form first, right here. Again, as you can see, it pulls a list of all students in your entire school, actually, but that will filter down based on the user that's logged in and filling out the form, because they need to be linked to the child. And so what I like to do is open it up and just change the label so it's clear. Change it to student, or you can say select your student. It doesn't really matter, just so it's clear. Okay, so now we've added the student field, right? So that means that when we submit this form, the data is going to go, and whichever students we select, actually, if you're using for like an attendance form, there can be multiple or all of the students selected at once, and it will post each of their pages individually. So you get the same information with the date saying they were present, and it'll all be time-stamped as well. So really, it's up to you guys what you want to include in your student page form. I'll just throw some examples here, and you guys can get creative as you'd like with these forms. Okay, let's add another one here. Let's add something about, we can do emergency contact info as well, and that's pretty important stuff. So that when it's, if a teacher has to pull that up right away, they can just go click student on the menu, find the child pulled up right there, so they don't have to do any digging or searching really. Okay, so I'm going to keep this really simple for today, and I'm just going to hit update form. So mention, and that's these forms, as you submit them, by default, they're not notifying parents. However, we've had that request over time, and so what we've done is we've built it into this feature, and it's actually in this student field. So let me show you if you click in on here and you go to advanced, you'll see it says don't send notifications. if you select always send, then basically what that will do is when you fill out this form, it knows, right, let's say I select Harry Potter here, who Harry Potter is connected to as far as the parents go, right? Because they're all linked in the system. So what that does is it automatically pulls the email for Harry Potter's parents, for mom and dad, and it will send out basically just an exact copy of what you submitted. So, an example would be if you ever need to submit um, or if you ever need to share, maybe an accident report with parents in real time because you want them knowing what's going on and being up to date. That's just what I can think of off the top of my head here. Okay, so I'll leave this to no. We don't want to notify anyone right now. You can also select manual, which will actually appear at the bottom of the form when you submit it. And then you can say, this I'd like to send it, but the next time I'm not going to send it. So it's just a case-by-case basis there. So anyways, I'm happy with this form. Let's hit update. Okay, so here's our form. I'm going to click on that. And what you can do is hit select all, right? You can even remove some if you want, but then you go ahead and you can hit present, right? You don't even need these other fields here. I just added them for training purposes. But you could just go ahead and hit submit, and it will time and date stamp everything, and that will appear on their page. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit submit, and let's actually go back and just fill this out one more time, except this time I'll just select one student, and we'll select Zach. That's who we're working with. We just created that student, right? So it's still going to be pretty blank. There won't be pictures or anything yet, but we can easily add that. And then this one I'll say absent. Okay. So I'm going to hit submit. All right, now what we're going to do, so we've created the student page form, filled it out, and now we're going to visit the student's page. Just verify that, we've done everything correctly. Okay, so let's look for Zach. Okay, and so there it is. This is the name of our form. This automatically populated here. I've connected to some teachers and parents here as well, so those are all also showing up. And then, yeah, if I scroll down here, this is the two entries. So one, the present one, we submitted with the entire class, right? But it only brought the one entry here because it posts one on each of the students' pages. And for the other one, we just did Zach, so it won't show the other students' pages, right? Like if only one student was absent, then you just want to isolate that student. And of course, just to recap, you guys can always go and preview the entries as well as edit them if you need to make any changes. So I can go in here and change this to present, hit update. So it's really easy to do so. And then when you refresh, their changes will be reflected there. Okay, great. So yeah, I mean the idea here, and I'll just take you back, fill out one more form, but the idea here is that you're filling out all these different forms either at once or more likely throughout the year. And you're filling them out as any regular forms that you would fill out in the past. The only difference is now it's all being, centralized together on the student's page. Okay, so all of the form entries per student. So let's fill one out just so we can get two forms. So this would be an accident report. You can list the time. So location, maybe it was on the classroom. You can upload a photo if you need to actually. And then teacher would sign off and hit submit. And then so now if we go back to the student's page, same as any other student page form, as long as you have that selector in there, you know that it's going to automatically appear on their page. One form, and now we've got another one down here. Okay, so there's the date, time, location, and we can always expand more and see what was going on here. So as far as student pages go, there really isn't much to know besides is in forms that parents or teachers alike are filling out for students. Okay, so other than that, everything kind of takes care of itself because this page is being automatically populated. There's no copying or pasting or linking anything. It's all right here. So that really covers student pages.